Hello, I'm Mike Goodman, and in this week's lesson we're going to take a look at the absolute classic Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, don't worry if you've never touched a guitar before or you're a complete beginner. We're going to start incredibly basic, show you how you can get through the song with just some single notes, and then take it up to be a little bit more complex to some chords, and then show you the actual riff. So you might want to refer to the app or the tuning lesson to get your guitars in tune. But if we take this song from the point of view of being a complete beginner, you can get through this song with just 3 notes. That is your open D string, which is your 4th string. Now, if you take your left hand and fret the 3rd fret of the 5th string and play the note C, and then take your left hand again and fret the 3rd fret of the bottom string, so you're playing the note G, those 3 notes will get you through virtually the entire song. So you play the first note, the open 4th string, twice. You play the C on the 5th string twice. And the G, the 3rd fret of the bottom string, twice. So what we'll do now is we'll play that to a click, very slowly to start with, then at a medium tempo, and then at the tempo of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. So, if you know a couple of chords, we can get through predominantly the whole song again with just 3 chords. The first chord is your D major chord, which is fretted like this, which you have your open 4th string, your 2nd fret of the 3rd string, your 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and your 2nd fret of the top string, D major. Now your second chord is a C add 9. If you want to know a bit more about the construction of add 9 chords, go to the lesson bank and check out the lesson about add 9 chords. Your C9 is fretted the 3rd fret of the 5th string, the 2nd fret of the 4th string, the open 3rd string, the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and the 3rd fret of the top string. Now it's a nice easy change for the 3rd chord, because we're just going to go to a G major by taking our 2nd and 1st fingers over 1 string to the bottom 2 strings. Easy. So the riff at the beginning, the verse, the pre-chorus and the chorus are all based around just those 3 chords. So we don't have to play the whole riff, we can just play simple chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 4. To make the chord sound a little bit closer to the actual song, rather than strumming the whole chord every time, it sounds a little more effective to do a little bit of palm muting and play the lower couple of strings first, then hit the whole chord. And then what I'm doing is a quick little upstroke as I then change to the new chord. Now don't worry if you catch a few open strings, it can actually make it sound a bit more effective. So, we've gone through doing the single notes, we've gone through the basic chords, now we've got the slightly trickier task of dealing with the actual riff. Now, we use the chords as a reference, so our left hand isn't doing a huge amount different from that basic D to the C add 9 to the G, but we've got some little fiddly bits in between. Now, so if I take you very slowly through the actual riff, what we're going to do, we're going to fret the D chord and then play the open 4th string, then the 2nd and then the 3rd string. Now when we go to the C, what he's doing is he's kind of putting a little skip in. Sometimes you get the little open string in between, sometimes just a little mute stroke. So don't beat yourself up too much about whether you get the open string or a little click. But we've got the same little 2nd and 3rd string in between, but we're fretting the chord, so that will take care of what notes they are that you're playing. And then to the G, exactly the same. Now then we have a variety of fills going in between. The first one, now you might want to check out the lesson in the library bank about hammer-ons and pull-offs, because what we're doing there, we're utilising them both, some hammer-ons and some pull-offs. The other lesson you might want to check out is to do with the 16th timing and that governing your down and up strokes. So that's your first link. The second is quite one of the famous ones. That little ascending pattern. The third one, we return to the first little interval lick. And then the fourth one, the final one, is slightly more simple, which just leaves those 3 notes of the G hanging before it then goes into the verse. Now don't worry if you haven't got all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to play through it really slowly to a click, then at a medium tempo, and then at full tempo, and check out the notation that goes along with the footage. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. So good luck with all that. Don't be afraid to start ridiculously slowly. You're not racing anybody. There's no deadline to get to full tempo. You don't even need to get to full tempo. It's more about what you can learn about the actual piece and what you can bring into your own playing. So use the app to help you. Take a look at the additional lessons and I'll see you next time.